Thank you for your fine work, Admiral. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are the threats nation state-wise in terms of who we're most threatened by?
I would argue Russia, and again, the probably in terms of you look at capability, the other four that we have publicly acknowledged we pay great attention to, China, Iran, North Korea, and then the non-state actor is the other category where I look that could be a game changer where there's some of the dynamics to change.
On the terrorism side, could you give us the top couple of terrorist organizations you're worried about?
It's not that I don't know it on an unclassified form.
Okay, well, we don't go down that
If I
road.
could, thank you, sir.
On the criminal side, what areas of criminality do you worry the most about? What countries?
I would argue right now Russia probably has the most active criminal element with the greatest capability.
Do you think the Russian government's doing anything constructive in terms of regulating their criminal activity in cyber?
I would only say it doesn't appear to be getting much better.
What about Iran? Has Iran gotten better in the last year in terms of their cyber activity?
Yes.
Are they less threatening?
I apologize, I'm not sure.
Are
you
they
mean
less threatening or just more capable?
I'd argue they're increasing their investment, they're increasing their level of capability. We have not seen the same level of activity from them that we have seen historically in the past. I have seen some of that same activity directed at other nations and other groups around the world.
They're improving their capability.
Yes, sir.
Do you know if any of the money they're getting from the Iranian nuclear deal is going into their cyber upgrades?
I don't know for a fact.
Okay. Is it fair for the country to establish as a policy cyber dominance over enemies, that we want to have a dominance in this area of warfare?
I mean, I would argue we want to have the same level of capability and supremacy in cyber as we have articulated that we want in every other.
Okay, well, I think that's a
for our
good goal, so
nation.
let's march down that path. And I associate myself with Senator King about what we need to do as a nation. The Navy, the difference between the Chinese Navy, the Russian Navy, and the American Navy is pretty wide.
Yes, sir.
In the cyber arena, how close is it?
I have publicly stated before the Russians I would consider in cyber peer competitor. China, not in the same place, but rapidly attempting to get there.
So the gap between the dominance we have on the seas and cyber is not nearly.
Not nearly the same.
Okay. When it comes to Iran, when you compare their Air Force to our Air Force, what's the gap?
Oh, significant.
Okay. In the cyber arena, less significant?
Less significant, but it's still an area of significant advantage for us right now.
Are the Iranians trying to close it?
Oh, they are.
So from a NATO point of view, you're familiar with Article 5, an attack against one is an attack against all. Is there any such concept in the cyber arena?
You've heard NATO publicly talk about the fact that they believe Article 5 applies to all domains of warfare.
Do they have any rules of engagement that would identify what a cyber attack is?
They're probably in the same arena we are, still trying to work our way through that.
Okay. When do you think we'll arrive at a conclusion to Senator King's question?
Boy, I don't know. The point
What's the biggest impediment to us getting there? Is it the Congress? Is it the
No.
DOD?
It's as much in some ways as, and again, this is just Mike Rogers' opinion, it is much in some ways from my perspective as, well, this is just an intellectual exercise. This is something we can afford
The
to
Department of
push
Homeland
down.
Security is responsible basically for protecting us in the financial service power arena, our civilian targets.
Sir.
You're responsible for protecting the military infrastructure,
And to provide support to that commercial
That's right.
infrastructure if
but
requested.
you're also responsible for going on offense.
Yes, sir.
HS is not going to attack a foreign nation, you would.
Yes, sir.
So how could we as a nation, given the threats that we face in the cyber arena, not really have a good answer as to what's the impediments to creating rules of engagement?
I apologize, sir. You really need to speak to the policy side.
Yeah, but you're an operator.
Yes, sir.
So who do you talk to about, hey, guys, let's see if we can get there?
So the Secretary of Defense and the Office of the Secretary of Defense.
How do they respond?
I think intellectually, we all realize that that's what we need to do. It's generating that consensus, I think
Is there
we're on.
anything Congress is not doing that you would like us to do to help resolve this issue?
No, I can't argue that it's something that Congress has failed to do. I don't see that.
Thank you.
Sir?